Get your money, don't care who judge. Stay out the way, surround yourself with nothing but love. Stay out the way, if you a gangster, killer or thug. Stay out the way, put your faith in the man above. Stay out the way, chill with your family, siblings and blood. Stay out the way, kick it with your girl, forget hit in the club. Stay out the way, mind on your money, ain't no switching it up. Stay out the way, stand out the way, what you thought that it was. Stay out the way. If you stuck down on your luck, not feeling righteous, did a petty crime, just looking for some excitement. Now your name on affidavits and court indictments, get paid for a lot, but your freedom is priceless. You did the crime, you do the time, don't let it surprise you. Real stories from the heart, just to open your eyes up.
Yo, what's good, y'all? We back again, man, with another In the Car Chronicles. Y'all already know what I need y'all to do in this video right here, man. Turn this video up for me, y'all. Like, share, and subscribe to y'all. Let's get it. Let's go. But we're gonna call this story right here today. Old head thought he was in the mountains. Part 1. I ain't gonna lie, man, this was a crazy story right here, man. But we on Lawrenceville for this, y'all. We on Lawrenceville, man. We in 40 building. But this is around the time where I almost was transferred, man, going to Greensville, about to go home. Like, my time was getting shorter, but I wasn't acting like somebody that had a little bit of time, man. I was still in bit mode, crazy, man. But I can remember getting put in 40 building fresh out the hole. And, like, to be honest with y'all, I didn't even really want to go to that part. I didn't want to go to that building for a lot of reasons, man, because the situation about the cell phone, if y'all follow my stories, you got to go all the way back. Kind of like, you know what I mean, a little bit to, not all the way back to, like, you know, my Lawrenceville stories about the cell phone game. I think it's called The Little Prick. You know what I mean? If you go back to that, kind of like, that had just happened not too long ago, probably like, you know, some months ago, but like, it was a little weird to me, man, because a lot of dudes that was from the town, they was rocking with the Little Prick now, and it was like, he was in that pod, you know what I mean? But at the end of the day, like, I felt responsible for that because I'm the one that brought the Little Prick to the town, you know what I mean? So, like, I couldn't really be mad. I looked at it like, you know what, this is your karma for introducing him to the people from the town. So now the people from the town is doing what I never was doing to him, which is using him, you know what I mean? He's still able to be around Norfolk dudes, but it was always for a reason. But I used to see when I was in 30 building that he was in that block. You know what I mean? So I never wanted to go to that block, but slowly but surely, as dudes were going to the hole from 30, they was putting them in 40. So I had already been in 40 when I first got on the camp years ago. So, like, you know, when the lady called my intercom and told me I was going to 41, I wasn't mad. You know what I mean? I was like, that's just my luck, man. I got to go in here with the Little Prick. Now, trust me, the Little Prick didn't even look my direction. And when I came in there, it was dudes from the town that kind of was like, yo, bro, like, you know, we just da-da-da-da. Because the Little Prick had the plug with the country boys that was in 30 building that was getting the loud pack. So he was brokering that deal. So it was like people was dealing with him for a reason. And I understood that. Like I say, I was angry because I'm like, man, like, y'all really hanging with a dude that's really my op for real. This dude my op, but you can't tell nobody who to hang with. You know what I mean? Everybody's not going to look at things or do things the way you want things to be done. So I already knew that going into that pod. You know what I mean? So when I went into that pod, like, I was kind of like at the sense of, I was thinking a lot of things, like, should I go in here and beat him up again? You know what I mean? Like, it was a lot of stuff going through my mind, but, like, you know, I couldn't do all that. You know what I mean? Like, I already handled my business on him. He's definitely a little prick, but it was over with, man. You know what I mean? He paid me for the phone, and I had to move on from the jump, man. I had to move on, man. So, like, I come in the block, y'all, like, when I first got in there, it was a dude in there. It was a red team member. When I moved in the cell, he had a bunch of stuff on his bed. I already knew instantly that he was the guy running the poker game as soon as I came in, because I seen how the items looked that was laying on his bed. Pickle, turkey sausages, cheese squeeze. He had deodorant, toothpaste. He had a bunch of stuff down there. He won't make it no swole, y'all. So boom. So I already knew this maniac that was my celly was the one that was running the game, and it was this kind of tall, light-skinned dude. He wasn't from the Tidewater or Richmond. He was from a county, but he was from the red team. You know what I mean? He was on the bottom rack, but he didn't have a TV. So that was the first thing I noticed. So when I saw that he didn't have a TV, like, you know, I came to him with the proposition, because when he came in the cell, he saw I moved in there. He saw dudes knew me and stuff. You know what I mean? It was a lot of people in there that was in 30 building. So he saw people knew me. He came in the jump. He was like, hey, what's up, man? I was like, yo, what's up, bro? I was like, look, you ain't got no TV, bro. I was like, I got the TV, bro. Like, you trying to come off that bottom bunk? He was like, no, I can't come off the bottom bunk. I was like, all right. So, you know, like, excuse me for being a maniac, man. After I set my stuff up and made my bed, my TV went up on the top bunk too, y'all. So boom. But I ain't gonna lie, after like the first night, I ain't want to be a dude that was an idiot like that. I mean, even though he bucked on the bottom bunk, Like, if you want to watch TV, bro, you need to get off the bottom bunk. Let me get the bottom bunk out because I got the TV. But, you know, he's thinking his logic. So, you know, it looked like he wasn't getting affected by it because he looked like he didn't care reading books when we was locked down for that first night. You know what I mean? So the second night I felt bad because it was a weekend. I got out right before the weekend. They had a movie on. So I just kind of sat up for a while and watched the movie, you know what I mean? And I told bro, I was like, yo, bro, I ain't gonna stay in the cell. You know what I mean? I ain't gonna stay in this joint. So he was like, he already know because, you know, I'm pretty sure you want a bottom bunk. So I moved to the cell that was across from us because at first I was on the cell. The cell I was in was the one next to the handicap on the back wall by the showers a little bit. Now I'm moving to the one over here. Now I moved in the cell with a young boy from the town. You know what I mean? He was in the cell. Like, I'm thinking he was going to be a good cellie, which he was. But he ended up having to move back to the other side of the yard where his pops and his peoples was at. So I respected that. So he had to dip. So I stayed in the cell with the young boy for a minute. So when he left, I was in there dolo. So I'm in that joint dolo for a second. You know what I mean? I'm in that joint dolo for like at least 3 days. And I was hoping and praying that they don't bring nobody in there. I was trying to find somebody that I feel like was the perfect roommate, but I wasn't in a block that I was familiar with. You know what I mean? I was in a block where I just came out the hole and it was hard to choose from who I wanted in my cell. So after being in the cell dolo, I already knew I was going to get a cellie, man. I knew I couldn't duck it. It was definitely going to happen, man. I ain't gonna lie, man. I looked up and seen a dude coming through the slider, man, with his cot, man. I seen old head and it's like, you know, like off the rip, I'm like, man, he a old head, man. Like real old head. Like I told y'all, we might call dudes in their late 30s, early 40s, old heads, OGs, unks, all of that. But nah, this dude right here was at least about in his early 50s. But like he had looked old. He had the old look to him because he had a gray beard. You know what I mean? He had a bald head. His whole beard, mustache, everything was gray. His whole lineup was gray, man. I'm talking about the whole joint. It wasn't no salt and pepper gang. The man whole beard was gray, y'all. So boom. So he come in the block like this. He coming that joint serious, super serious. He stopped. The CO dude was like, yeah, he pointing back there with my cell. Everybody looking like, oh, Weezy, you got a roommate. I'm looking like, yeah, I can see that, man. I'm like, Lord, man. It's an old head too, man. So he walked towards the door. So when he walked towards the door, I'm kind of coming the other direction. So I guess he like an old head like him, they watch everything. So he saw how my movement was coming, like kind of like meeting him. And he noticed, he locked eyes on me like, and he saw me, he was like, you in this cell? I was like, yeah. What's up, man? Weezy, man. He gonna call this old head Yanni. So he like, I'm like, yo, what's up, man? Weezy, man. He like, yeah, what's up, Yanni, man? You in here? I'm like, yeah, I'm here. I'll just meet you. You know what I mean? He was like, He started taking the stuff out the cot. I know this old head got everything though. Old head taking the stuff out the cot. Old head got a TV game, 13-inch game. He got a lot of stuff. So he got commissary. So I opened the door. I was like, yeah, man, your box is right there. He was like, he started putting the stuff up, you know what I mean? So I like, me get out of his way. So I just came out and stood in front of the door talking to my homeboy. So I'm talking to my homeboy right in front of the door. And we just waiting right there because I'm basically getting out of his way. I'm giving him his time to get his stuff together and do whatever he has to do. So he's standing inside the cell getting his stuff right. You know what I mean? So after like 15 minutes, I walked back in the cell. So when I walked back in the cell, he was in the junk making his bed. And I saw how he was making his bed. Like I never really seen nobody make their bed like this, y'all. Like, well, I promise you, man, this joke crazy, man. Oh, man, I ain't want to say nothing to him. Like, I wanted him to just keep doing him, but I was intrigued by how he was doing the jump. But when I walked in the room, this man got his whole mattress in his lap. And he's sitting on the bench. Like, our benches are not like Sussex, just the one bench on Lawrenceville. They have like a table, and it's the two benches to the table. It's the little round seats. It's just like outside, the two round seats for the table. You know what I mean? So, like, I can sit here. I can say my roommate wanted to. It's like a table if we wanted to eat. Basically, but nobody sits there. Somebody might sit on the table, put their feet on the joint, or you can eat with a box and put your food on the little seat joint. There's all type of different ways to use that table and two seats. But he's sitting on the seat, and he has the mattress in his hand like this. Now, the old head won't no little dude either. You know what I mean? I'll say old head was about a little taller than me, so I give him 6 feet. But you know, he was like a regular body old head dude. You know what I mean? But just like to walk in and see him with the mattress in his hand, I didn't know what he was doing, so I kind of walk in. I'm like. So he looked up at me, he like, oh yeah, don't mind me. I gotta get this bed right quick. But when I look, he got the bed upside down. The bed is in his lap. The mattress is in his lap. It's upside down. He got some strings over his shoulders that he done made already. He got some holes on each side of the mattress, and he put the string in the mattress on the other side, and he said, then he tied it tight. He was like, he went to the next one. He was like, tied the other joint. He was like, so it take about 5. He was on the 4th one. He was like, When he got to the 5th one, he was like, he had to grab a sheet of the mattress with his mouth. He grabbed it with his teeth. He was like, he put it through the hole. He said, man, I promise you, man, when that man flipped that mattress over there, it looked like a canoe, y'all. So boom. I was like, when he flipped it over, I didn't even know that he already had the wheel blanket and everything already on to the job. When he flipped it over, when I tell y'all the sheet was so tight, I was like, it was beyond making a fitted sheet. I done saw a lot of stuff. I done saw how dudes would do stuff like, you know, I done seen dudes tied from just one side, you know what I mean? But he made like 5 joints. He sewed up the mattress, y'all. This man sewed up the mattress with his sheet, and he made his sheet look real tight on the mattress. Now, this is a major thing because y'all might think we got like fitted sheets like we put on our mattresses out here. No, we don't have that first sheet that goes on the mattress. That's the fitted joint. No, we don't have that. They give us just sheets that look like the sheets we put over us. So you get those and you make the best of tying up your mattress. This man was an expert, man. So when I see him flip his mat over, his mat looked like a freaking canoe. It was just so perfect. It looked like he'll never have to make his bed again. You know what I mean? So he got his wool blanket. He threw his wool blanket just like folded. It was just folded like just one fold. And he put it long like, it looked like his bed was just super made, but just because of the sheet. You know what I mean? So he like, yeah, I like my bed like this, man. This is how I like my bed and stuff. You know what I mean? I'm like, that's what's up, man. I was like, that junk crazy, man. He's like, you want me to do your bed like that? I was like, nah. I'm good though, man. He was like, yeah though, man, like, what's up with this camp though, man? He was like, cause I think it was my lucky day, to be honest with you. I was like, where you coming from? He was like, man, I'm just coming from the mountains, man. I said, the mountains? What do you mean the mountains? Like Red Onion, like Wallace Ridge Mountains? He was like, no, I won't die. I won't die. I said, man, all of it the same. He said, no, it ain't all the same, nephew. He said, no, it ain't all the same, young blood. No, I was at King Mountain. I said, why is it a mountain behind the name then if it's not in the mountains? He was like, I mean, it's in the mountains, but it's still a level 4. It's a level 4. It's not a level 5. Wallace Ridge and Red Onion are level 5s and 6. It's not. I'm like, man, look, I ain't finna argue about you what's in the mountains, man. But I was like, you was in the mountains, though? That's where you coming from? He was like, yeah. I said, what made you leave the mountains? He was like, yeah, man, because I just, you know, my level kept dropping. He was like, I kept telling the council to override my annual review. I won't never trying to go to a 3 because I had a job. I had everything set up over here where I was at. You know what I mean? So I ain't never want to come down this low. So I'm like, you ain't never want to leave the mountains? He was like, man, I had everything set up down there, man. Everything was straight. He got up. He started moving around with his mattress, flicking his mattress. He was like, yeah, I ain't never want to come down, man. As he had his back turned the whole time, I was like this. I was like, there's a possibility Weezy was in the mountains. I was like, I need something better than that. I think you're safer now. I was like, well, how long you been in the mountains then, old head? He was like, man, I was in the mountains for over 5 years, man. He said, I've been up there 5 years. At first I was at Buckingham, they sent me higher. Yeah, he kept saying lower and higher and all this. Like, he was losing me a little bit. I'm like, man, that's crazy, man. So I was like, you sure you didn't want to get transferred? He was like, I mean, you know, if I had to go, they tell me pack up, I gotta pack up, man. But you know, like, I had to just get everything situated though, man. You know what I mean? So I'm like, all right, man. I was like, but look though, I was like, man, this camp right here, dumb sweet though. You know what I mean? I was like, you gonna like this junk, man. I said, man, yeah, it's a little younger or whatever the case, and it's a little faster. You know what I mean? I was like, you was just in the country. I said, they just sent you back to the city. I said, this prison like the city now. I said, because the doors stay open. It's always wrecked. It's inside wrecked, outside wrecked. We go to get our child hall. Ain't no bringing no food unless we're on institutional lock. I said, it's lit on this junk now. He was like, yeah, I mean, I've been hearing the stories about it, man. You know, I'm just, you know, like, I ain't into all that though, man. I just, you know, like, as long as they respect me, I was like, who? He was like, the police, everybody. Like, I show the administration respect. I don't disrespect them, man. I accept the same respect back. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. But I want respect from everybody. You know what I mean? I'm like, all right, bro. So, you know what I mean? I'm like, look, though, I ain't gonna lie to you, though, man. I said, for real, dudes don't even be taking shit that serious like that, man. So you ain't gotta go like that, though, man. So you can chill out. This ain't the mountains no more, huh? You know what I mean? He was like, that's what's up. That's what's up. I was like, all right, I'm gonna holler at you. So I left out. You know what I mean? I left him in the room. So, you know what I mean? I go out and tell my homeboy, like, yo, man, say word, bro. I walked in, man. Old school had the damn mattress tied up like a goddamn sewing needle. I said, man, that man went bananas on that damn mattress. He was like, what? I said, bro, the man sewed the damn sheet together, bro. I said, the man did some more unbelievable shit. His mattress looked like a damn canoe. That nigga look like he can go fishing on that motherfucker. Like, he can put that bitch in the middle of the Atlantic Ocean and go fishing, goddammit. My homeboy was like, we just stop welling, bro. I was like, bro, go look at my door, bro. And go look at how that nigga mattress look. God damn it, because my mattress was just regular old mattress, you know what I mean, with the blanket over it, you know what I mean? My homeboy did a drive-by, he was like, God damn, how you get it so tight like that, man? I was like, bro, that nigga tied it together. He was like, where that nigga from? I was like, I don't know yet. I don't know where he from. I said, but he just come from the mountains though. You know what I mean? He was like, how the fuck he get here from the mountains? I was like, bro, I don't know. But he said he won't never trying to get transferred. They sent him here. I was like, man, they done put somebody super stick struck on my damn cell, bro. I bet you they did. He was like, man, I don't know, man. Unc might be all right. He was like, what's his name? I was like, Yanni. He said his name, Yanni. You know what I mean? So I'm like, he got down, you know, I'm gonna probably holler at him a little bit more when we lock down and shit, you know what I mean? But I was like, at least he got his own shit. My man was like, yeah, at least he got his own shit, you know what I mean? At least he got his own shit. I was like, bro, like, it be so many niggas that they can move in the cell. I was like, man, I'd rather have Unc, man. I was like, because, you know, at least he got his own shit. He gonna stay out the way. You know what I mean? My man was like, yeah, that's what's up. So me and him dipped, you know what I mean? So me and him, so I ended up dipping on him. So I went to jump. Old school was still in the cell. So I'm like, damn, he gotta come out. Like, you know what I mean? I was like, yo, I gotta use the bathroom. Old school, you good? Everything. He was like, yeah. Hold on. He went under this bed. He was like, this man pulled out 2 photo books. I ain't even gonna lie. I'm not saying I still didn't have my photo book, but the photo books he had, man, listen, man, this man photo book had look like the Bible. That's my, I promise y'all, man, that man, the old school jank that used to be on your grandma's table. I'm talking about that junk, man. I'm talking about the junk. You might go to your aunt's house and see your mama in that jank back when your mama was 13. That man photo book had looked like it was ancient history, man. I promise you, man, that man went under his bed. Now, I always upgraded my photo books. You know what I mean? Because they allowed you to do that. Like, they sold different photo books. Even though now we're getting pictures and all that stuff on the players now. But dudes still had a photo book, though. You know what I mean? Man, I promise you, man, that man had the little junks that look like a Bible, the books. The flat janks. He had that jank. That man went on his mattress and grabbed that junk, took it out in the pot. He was like, yeah, hold on. He grabbed them junks, walked out nice and proud. So before I put the cut up, I went and looked out the door, and I seen who he was talking to. So I seen the dudes he was talking to. He was from Tidewater, you know what I mean? I'm not gonna say what city that the nigga Yanni was from, but he definitely was from Tidewater, y'all. So boom, I see the dudes he talking to. I'm like, oh, so you know when somebody show they photo book to people, like, you know what I mean? Like, you probably from the city, they from, you might know the same. It depends, you know what I mean? So he's showing a couple of dudes the joint. So after I finished using the bathroom, I look. You know what I mean? They out there looking at the photo, but they like, damn, everybody looking all intrigued. Like, they looking at a freaking Bible study, like ancient history. Like, they over there jump looking at a social studies book or something. Goddamn, niggas over that bitch like, for real? That's crazy. Like, and I just see old school. He's standing up. He ain't sit down. He's standing up. You know what I mean? He got his pants. He got his blue shirt. He got his blue shirt on, but it ain't tucked in his pants. His jeans is real slim, but they cuffed at the bottom 3 times. So it's like he got his joints cuffed, but he got Timbs at least though. He don't got the state boots. He got his Timbs. He came up here with Timbs. So he got Timbs on, you know what I mean? But he got the fake Timbs though. I'm talking about the ones without the Timberland sign though, y'all. So boom. Yeah, Lawrenceville sold those too, and a lot of other places that was in Virginia to sell you the tan Timbs with no Timberland sign. You know what I mean? Like, dudes used to go buy those. Matter of fact, they weren't even the tan joints. They was the cinnamon joints. Dudes would go buy them. I was tempted to one time. One day I seen a dude looking butter in them joints. I was like, should I get it? I thought about it. I said, it's no Timberland sign. I can't do it. I changed my mind. But a couple of dudes will, you know what I mean? Throw it on with the jeans, the cinnamon game. I couldn't do it though, man. Word, Unc had them joints. He had them joints, but he had his cuffs 3 times. You know what I mean? He had his jeans cuffed 3 times. So he's standing up there like this. He like, yeah. You know what I mean? So I see him talk to that dude. Then he leave. He start talking to the dude that be cleaning up in our pod. You know what I mean? I see him hollering at him. Then he went and left from him. And I looked up. He was upstairs talking to another old head with a serious face. You know what I mean? So I'm looking. I'm like, man, what you doing, man? What old head got going on, man? So a lady coming in and said, lock down for count. So we about to lock down. I'm like, Lord, about to lock down. We come back out after dinner, you know what I mean? When we get ready to go to dinner, so we locking down. So I went and got some ice. Then I came back to the cell, you know what I mean? When I came back to the cell, I'm just standing in front of the door. You know what I mean? Waiting for the lady to come close all the doors, because all the doors don't close by themselves on Lawrenceville. They gotta manually come close all the joints. So, you know, on Sussex, they do. When you hear me hit that noise, they all locking. But you know, Lawrenceville is the push joint, you know what I mean? Or we close it. So we standing in the jump, standing by the door. I ain't even looking behind me to see me what old head got going on, but I'm just standing at the door. Got down, the lady walked by, excuse me, white. She closed the joint on me, boom. When I turned around and looked, I smelled something first though. I smelled something crazy. I turned around, I was like, he was like, yeah, hey, look, man, hey, look, you mind getting on the bed for a second? I'm like, get on the bed for what? What you about to do, old school? He was like, I just bought this from the dude upstairs, man. I'm about to wax the floor.
Get your money, don't care who judge. Stay out the way, surround yourself with nothing but love. Stay out the way if you a gangster, killer or thug. Stay out the way, put your faith in the man above. Stay out the way, chill with your family, siblings and blood. Stay out the way, kick it with your girl, forget hit in the club. Stay out the way, mind on your money, ain't no switching it up. Stay out the way, stand out the way, what you thought that it was. Stay out the way. If you stuck down on your luck, not feeling righteous, did a petty crime, just looking for some excitement. Now your name on affidavits and court indictments, get paid for a lot, but your freedom is priceless. You did the crime, you do the time, don't let it surprise you. Real stories from the heart, just to open your eyes up.